I went to sleep. I was asleep, but I was very light. Like when you're sleeping, but you are so light. I was so light. And the moment I slept, I felt my spirit leave me. And me being a person who's always in the spirit, most of the time, I knew that something was happening because I had just closed my eyes. In less than 1 minute in closing my eyes, I felt this deep heaviness, sleep come upon me, and I immediately felt light. I knew that my spirit was requesting to leave my body. And at that moment in time, I then left. I felt my body leaving, and I left out my body. When I left out of my body, I saw myself passing through the roof as I normally do. But when I passed through the roof, instead of coming out of the house as what I would normally do, I found myself landing at it was a huge building. It was an amazingly huge building, and this building looked like a church cathedral. It was so big and looked like a church cathedral, and it was on top of a hill. There was a hill, and on the hill, the mountain itself, all of it was so green. It had this green that was amazing. The green was a different shade of green, but I would look at it and I would automatically know that it was green. But when you look at it while you are there, it doesn't look like the normal green we have here, but it was green. But I automatically knew that this grass is green. This is the original color green. And I was standing on top of this mountain, and as I was standing on top of this mountain, there was just this huge building, this huge church building. It was so big. It was so huge. I could not place it. I could not, be able to describe what it looked like. But all I can try to, try to make it seem or try to describe it is as a church cathedral, like those huge church cathedrals. So I was standing on the door of this huge church cathedral. This is not a dream. This is happening live. And as I'm changing on top of this huge cathedral, the door was opened. And as the door was opened, I saw there was so many chairs that were inside. So many chairs. But these chairs were not like our ordinary chairs, like where you have somewhere to sit and you have somewhere to rest your back. They looked like sticks, like just sticks that were standing on the floor. Sticks, like thousands and thousands of sticks that were just on the floor. And I knew just by looking at the sticks that these sticks were chairs. But how they would be chairs, I did not know, and I do not have the pleasure of actually being able to understand the technology. But it is like once, if you want to be there, if you stand on that stick would actually support you, or you support your standing, or support, I don't know. But it was just a little stick that would just be on the ground, a little stick that would just be on the ground. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. So while I'm in the door, an angel appeared on my right side and beckoned me to enter this cathedral and says, enter. When I entered, I saw this beautiful place that was filled with blue and gold, and it was amazingly beautiful. I saw decorations that I cannot fathom. I could not understand the level of craftsmanship and attention to detail, the tables and the windows. The whole place was made out of glass. The whole place. I could not see the walls where the walls were, like brick or anything like that, but it was like made out of pure glass. And within this glass, was different decorations and different colors that would be coming through from that glass. Because outside there was this light, and this light would reflect inside this cathedral, and that light that would reflect into this cathedral would display different shades of color and everything else. And I was looking at all of this, I was taking it all in, and while I was taking it all in, and the angel that was on my side then spoke to me and asked, and he said to me, "Do you know where you are?" And I didn't even understand where I was. I don't know where I am. And the angel then said to me, he said, "This is called the Hall of the Saints." Now I'm about to tell you this is, whether you agree or you believe, I don't care. I just want to share it. And it says, this is the Hall of the Saints. And I said, wow. And he said, come. And automatically we started to float. We were not walking, we started to float, to glide. And we were gliding towards the walls, to see the walls. Now these walls, this glass that we were seeing, it wasn't just glass decoration and everything else. On each glass decoration, there was a picture that would be in the glass. And the first glass that I would see, I came to this glass and there was this see-through image that was in the glass of an old man with a beard, and was holding a book, and his hand was like this, and he was holding a book in this manner, and his hand was raised up like this, and it was in the glass. You could see that the image was in the glass. And when I got close, you know, the thing in heaven, or when you're having a heavenly dream, is that you do not ask many questions, because it's everything responds to you. What in heaven, your mouth is for display. Your mouth, you really don't need to use your mouth that much. You really don't need to use your lips or your voice that much, because everything is responded through thought process or telepathy. You just open your mouth, you just think it, and the angel or whatever is next to you will hear your thoughts and would answer you by sending the answer in your thought. So I got to the wall, and I saw the first image was in the glass of the glass walls of the building that was supporting the building, was an image of an old man with a beard, but he was holding a book, and his hand was raised up like this. And I looked at this, and in my thought, I asked myself, I said, who is this? Because I did not know. I said, wow, who is this? And automatically an answer was just given to me, and I was told that was Moses, and he was holding the book of the law. So the moment I said, oh, that's Moses, looking at the picture, saints, listen to me, something amazing happened. This was a glass. This was nothing but a glass, and there was a picture in the glass, and the man was just holding a book like this, raising his hand. The moment I just looked at it, I said, oh, so that's Moses. I am telling you guys, I am literally telling you this. The man holding the book started to move like this. In the wall, the image in that glass, like a painting. It was like a painting. And it started to move like this, slowly. And then it started like as if the hand was talking. And then that image started to, that painting in itself started to just, move while it's holding a book, and as if it's like this. And automatically, this beam of light came from the painting, and it came towards me. And I heard this speech, and I had the understanding of the image, and the light made me to understand that this was the day that Moses was giving the law to the people, And I was looking at this, and when the image ended, and when the light came through, and I got this understanding, the image of the man was now moving around as if it was a painting, but the painting was moving. The painting had life. And when it stopped, doing what it was doing, it came back to its original position, froze, and then did this. And then I was shocked. I was like, wow, this is amazing. I was looking at this, then I saw another image that was right next to it on the same glass wall. And it was another image. And I'm looking at this image, and there is a man. But this man is staring at me at the side, and it's a painting again. And I'm looking at it, and the light comes, the light that was beaming through from the outside came and hit that image through, and the light came inside me, and I understood that it was Enoch. And the same man was just frozen, looking at me with one eye like this, then automatically did this. And then the moment he started doing this, he was looking at me with one hand like this. Then the moment he started doing this, I did not understand what he was doing, because I saw he moved, the image, the painting moved, and he started doing this with this 1, 2, 3, 4, with these 4 fingers like this. And I looked at this, and the light came through me, and I understood that that was Enoch. And when I understood that was Enoch, I understood that it was a way that Enoch used to tap into the Spirit. And whilst I was there, I then said to the angel, says, can I learn that method? And whilst I was there, the angel then said, indeed. Then he says, your 4 fingers, your fingers. Then he says, your fingers, the 4 tips of every human being. The 4, guys, I pray you listen. I pray you listen. You say the 4 tips. When I'm talking about the tips, I'm talking about this 1, 2, this is a tip. The tips of every human being do not just act as part of your fingers to pick up things. The angel then said to me, he says, the tips of your fingers, the tips are your fingers, act as spiritual sensory things. I don't know what it is. But then it says your tips, the tips of your fingers, are connected to different frequencies of the Spirit. Then he said, then he began to teach me. Then he said, now, on the 4 tips here, if you move this tip, guys, listen to me, this is a free lesson. He said, if you move this tip here, it means depth in the Spirit. Then he said, when you move this, it means a higher depth in the Spirit. When you move this, right, it means left. When you move this, last one, it means right. Now, when you're moving all of them together, you get to move left, you get to move deeper. So this one, the first one, it means it's like a direction tip. You put a vision of where you want to go. An image in your mind. I want to go to New York City. And then you lift up this tip. And then the moment you lift up this second one, bam, then that means you start to move. The moment you move this one, it means you are now needing more details of where you're going. Now, this little one, this tip, now actually starts to move you left and right to what you will now be seeing. So this will only start to work. This will only start to work only when you can now see the image. You are now at Madison Square Garden. Then you start, okay, what's behind me? Then you go this. Then you turn around. Then you see behind you. If you are seeing a gentleman in the far distance, how do you get to the gentleman? You did this tip and then get close to him. If you want to know his name, with this other finger, and then you get to know all of this. Guys, I am telling you, I was shown all of this. I was shown all of this, guys. And he says, so that is a secret. That's why you're seeing him doing this, because he was a man who moved with God. And as he moved with God, he had so many secrets, so many teachings of the Spirit that he had. Hallelujah. So many things. So I started to move through this hall of the saints. And we were moving right from the left to the right. The whole hall had pictures and paintings of different saints that we know, Saints that we don't even know, that are not even mentioned in our normal Bible, but they are recognized in heaven.